Hi guys, it's me Alex and today is March 11th. So let's go through the really fast guide how to book a load when you're a freight dispatcher. So major tips and the questions that you will ask. Well, first, you need to make sure you know your truck availability. How are you gonna know if you are dispatching trucks? Well, hopefully you are the same dispatcher who booked the previous load. So you're gonna know by your previous rate confirmation where is your truck delivering, or maybe if the driver is taking break or doing restart, when and where is he going to start, right? So first, what are we using when we are starting? Well, usually you're using the Google Maps. Later, when you becoming a pro and you understand that you need professional software, you investing in PC Miler, or if you're using any TMS, they have third parties professional maps. So the first thing is first. We put a check mark. We know where our truck is. We know when he's gonna be empty. Is he delivering to first come first serve facility? If he's delivering to strict appointment or maybe window appointment. So we're gonna be realistic. We're gonna give 2 hours for drive and 3 hours for reefer, and it depends on our flatbed. What is it gonna take to unload, let's say in this case, my big crystal block, right? Do I need a team? Do I have to tarp after as a driver? So all of those things you're gonna know as a dispatcher. Well, second, we need to confirm hours of service. HOS. Why? Because as a dispatcher, as a pro dispatcher, I can tell you a secret. Not all the trucks are faking ELDs. I know you guys fake them. I can admit sometimes we fake them as well. But we still have probably 40% of USA drivers which are driving by hours of service. So as a dispatcher, you need to understand those rules and you need to see, wow, how many hours your driver can drive today? How many hours are left on his cycle? And when you know those details, then you can actually calculate the transit, correct transit, not the magical truck flying, right? We do not fly. Not pushing your driver illegally because you miscalculated. That's why we have so many strong solo Sergeys, because unfortunately, the biggest problem, let me turn off my Telegram, right? Quit Telegram because it's making noises. We have so many drivers which are forced to go and drive without brakes, without shower, because the dispatcher did not know how to calculate the transit, or they do not have access to ELD, or they simply do not care because they have somebody sitting in Uzbekistan, somebody sitting in Moldova, somebody sitting in Pakistan and faking editing their logbooks. Well, tell me, is that professional dispatch or that is forced dispatch? And a lot of times, believe it or not, you will get in trouble sooner or later. But the most important thing, safety of your driver. Always remember, when you book those loads and you pushing your driver and he's not actually sleeping and he's only resting an hour or maybe 3 hours during that 24-hour period, or when he is driving 2-3 days without rest, always remember there are a chance of the crash. He might have kids at home. He has a family. And my own opinion is no loads deserves human life. Remember that. Well, let's continue. Well, now we know where our equipment, now we know how many hours he can drive. What are we gonna do now? Now we're going to post our truck availability. And we're gonna post on different load boards. It depends what you guys using. Me personally, I have DAT1, Pro subscription and also Truck Stop Pro subscription. Never use 123 load board, cannot even give you my opinion, but I am very big on brokers load boards. So I'm going to TQL load board, RXOT load board, CH Robinson load board, all those load boards where I can go directly to the brokers. They are free and I can post my equipment, I can book, and I can play that casino negotiating right there on those load boards. So that's what we're gonna do. So we post our availability. What else do we need to know as a dispatcher? Of course, we need to know our equipment. What type of dry van is it, right? Is it has swing doors, roll-up doors, wooden floors? Is it plated trailer? Does it has E-track? What type of E-track? Is it vertical? Is it horizontal? How many straps? How many load locks? All of the things which I need to know about equipment. Well, I have a little notes or I'm trying to keep in my head. When you starting, it's gonna be hard to remember everything. So make a list, make sure you have it available on your desktop, or if you're using TMS, it's gonna be easier. Well, you have 5 dry vans. 2 of them have vertical E-tracks, 3 of them have horizontal, or maybe you have another one which has no E-track system. Well, you need to know your truck, right? Who made this truck? Freightliner, Volvo? Is it Peterbilt? Why? Because you're gonna be dealing with actually breakdowns. You're gonna be helping your driver maybe with calling toll service. So all of this is important. Well, besides that, how are we gonna make sure that our rate per mile is actually higher than national average and that I am better dispatcher than most of the dispatchers out there? And the fastest way is eliminating our deadheads. Well, because the deadhead miles equals lost money. Nobody's paying for deadheads. And also it is going to affect my transit. So start looking for the loads closest to where your truck is delivering or where he is parked. Okay? So after we do all that, we actually gonna ask the questions. So let's go really fast. What questions dispatcher ask over and over and over? And it doesn't matter if it's a reefer, it doesn't matter if it's a flatbed, it doesn't matter if it's dry van. The first question is, what time is your pickup and when are we delivering this load? Why? Because it has to be logical transit. We do not want to book the load which transit is too long, transit is too short. We need that perfect transit so we can still pick up on time, deliver on time. After that, we need to ask, what is the commodity? Well, when we asking about commodity, we are actually killing 2 birds. First, we want to make sure that that commodity is not excluded from our policy. For example, electronics a lot of times are not included. Alcohol is not included. Machinery parts are not included. Plus, when we hear that it's going to be macaroni and cheese, well, probably the price of the macaroni and cheese is cheaper than it's a fresh beef. Or maybe it's a fancy chocolate, right? So value of the load. After that, we're asking how heavy is the load. Why? Because we need to make sure we stay legal. Is it palletized? And that's what we want. We want to have palletized commodities. We want one-on-one palletized, no floor loaded, no bulk produce. Leave it to desperate dispatchers. Well, if that's a reefer, we have to ask about temperature. We need to make sure we ask about the mode, if it continues or it's stop and go, and if we have to do anything else. So that's the questions that you're gonna ask as a dispatcher. Like, subscribe, and ask the questions.